1. The miraculous transformation of a person over time. A lesson from Leonardo da Vinci. Have you ever wondered what could transform a kind person into a traitor? The story of Leonardo da Vinci and the creation of The Last Supper is not just an art anecdote, but also contains profound lessons about human transformation over time and the critical decisions in life. Let's explore this miraculous story and uncover the two most important messages it conveys. You will be amazed at the miraculous transformation of a person and the importance of every choice we make in life. It's said that when Leonardo da Vinci was painting the famous The Last Supper, he saw a young man deeply engrossed in reading poetry at the church in Milan. The young man had bright eyes and a gentle, kind face. Leonardo da Vinci asked him to be the model for Jesus. Many years later, the painting was still unfinished. One day, Leonardo passed a small tavern in a poor neighborhood and met a man with a shifty, cunning look and a greedy face, reeking of alcohol. He had finally found someone who perfectly fit his vision for the traitor Judas, the one who betrayed Jesus. Leonardo da Vinci offered the man some money to come to his studio. As the man posed, Leonardo suddenly asked, "Have we met before?" After a moment of reflection, the man replied, "Yes. Years ago, I was the model for Jesus in your painting." The story of Leonardo da Vinci and the famous painting, The Last Supper, brings us profound and thought-provoking lessons about human transformation over time and the importance of choices in life. Looking back at the journey of the young man from an ideal model for Jesus to the traitor Judas, we clearly see that humans are not static beings but are constantly changing and developing under the influence of time, circumstances, and personal decisions. Initially, when Leonardo da Vinci saw the young man with bright eyes and a gentle, kind face, deeply engrossed in reading poetry at the church in Milan, he recognized him as the perfect model for Jesus. That image represented purity, holiness, and kindness, qualities Leonardo wanted to portray in the character of Jesus. However, many years later, when he encountered the same young man in a small tavern, now a cunning, greedy person with a shifty look and reeking of alcohol, he realized that time and life choices had transformed the young man astonishingly. The young man, once the perfect model for Jesus, had now become the perfect model for Judas, the betrayer. This transformation raises an important question about human nature. What caused such a drastic change in the young man? The answer lies in the experiences and decisions in life. Everyone goes through different events, challenges, and opportunities, and how we face and handle them shapes who we become. The young man likely made wrong choices, ventured into dark paths, leading to his downfall and complete transformation. The second message this story conveys is the importance of choices and actions. The decisions we make not only affect the present, but can also change our future. A wrong choice can lead to serious consequences, turning us from good to bad, from virtuous to traitor. This is a powerful reminder to carefully consider our decisions, as they will shape who we become in the future. The story of Leonardo da Vinci and The Last Supper is not just an art anecdote, but also a life lesson. It shows us that people are constantly changing and that every decision and action we take significantly impacts that transformation. We need to recognize that we have the power to change ourselves, to become better or worse through our daily choices and actions. In modern life, we often face many pressures and temptations. Stories like this remind us of the importance of maintaining ethics, integrity, and making the right decisions. Only by recognizing our continuous transformation and the importance of choices in life can we live a meaningful life and become the people we aspire to be. Leonardo da Vinci's story is not just an art lesson, but also a life lesson about change and the importance of making the right decisions. 2. The story of the nomad and the thief. Have you ever thought that vigilance alone cannot protect you from clever schemes? The story of the nomad and the thief below reveals two important lessons about understanding and evaluating information. Discover how a nomad lost half of his herd of goats due to a simple, unexpected trick. What made him so easily deceived? And how can we learn from his mistake to avoid similar pitfalls in our daily lives? Read on to find out. Once upon a time, there was a nomad who would lead his herd of goats to graze on the plains every day, happily watching them munch on the grass. One evening, a thief sneaked in to steal some goats but saw that the nomad never slept and was always on guard, protecting his herd diligently. Discouraged, the thief sat down and chatted with the nomad all night, unable to steal anything. However, the thief was cunning. He killed a tiger, skinned it, and placed the skin in the grass with only the tiger's head visible. After setting the scene, the thief approached the nomad and said, "My friend, you're in luck. A tiger asked me to come and request a goat from you for its dinner." The nomad suspiciously asked, "Where is this tiger?" He looked around and saw the tiger's head peeking out from the grass in the distance. Startled, he said to the thief, "My friend, take whichever goat you need. I won't stop you." So the thief took a goat. Seeing the nomad's fear at the sight of the fake tiger, the thief's greed grew. He returned daily to ask for a goat, claiming the tiger wanted to eat. Over time, the thief took away half of the nomad's goats. Vigilance is not enough without understanding and analysis. In the story, the nomad was always on guard, protecting his herd day and night. However, when faced with the fake tiger's head, he immediately believed the thief without verifying the truth. This was the fatal flaw of his vigilance without understanding. He let fear override his reason, and his lack of knowledge prevented him from distinguishing between reality and deception. This highlights that vigilance only has real value when paired with the ability to analyze and understand the situations we face. The benefit of verifying information before making decisions. The thief exploited the nomad's fear to steal his goats. If the nomad had checked the tiger's head and not let fear cloud his judgment, he could have uncovered the thief's ruse. This is a valuable lesson on the importance of verifying information before taking action. In reality, we often encounter situations where the information provided is unclear or potentially misleading. Thorough verification and not blindly trusting what others say or what we see without validation can help us make sound decisions and avoid unnecessary risks. How can we avoid making similar mistakes in life? First, we need to develop our ability to analyze and verify information. This not only helps us make informed decisions, but also allows us to recognize schemes and potential dangers. Second, we need to keep our minds alert and not let fear override our reason. Finally, we should learn from our own and others' mistakes to avoid repeating them in the future.
If you like this video, please comment 1. And if you don't, comment 2. Your feedback means a lot to us. Thank you for your valuable time.
3. A priceless lesson from the hunter and the lion. In an ancient forest, a story about a hunter and a male lion teaches us profound lessons about misconceptions and greed. Every time the hunter caught a wild animal, he would discard the meat, keeping only the hide. A male lion had become accustomed to feasting on the fresh meat the hunter left behind. Over time, it seemed a bond had formed between them, leading the hunter to believe he had tamed the wild beast. But when he attempted to seize full control and greedily tried to ride the lion, tragedy struck. Are you curious about the outcome of this story and the valuable lessons it imparts? Let's delve into this dramatic tale to glean some priceless life lessons. Legend has it that long ago there was a hunter who, whenever he caught a wild animal, would always skin it and discard the meat. A male lion would come to that area, see the fresh meat, and eat it. Each time the hunter finished hunting, he would throw away the meat and the lion would come to eat its fill. As time went by, the lion and the hunter grew closer. One day, the hunter approached the lion, placing a hand on its shoulder, and the lion wagged its tail in a friendly manner. The hunter, seeing it docile and affectionate, thought he had tamed it completely. He thought to himself, "This lion has been subdued by me and has become my hunting companion. Why shouldn't I ride it, just like other hunting animals, and skin it too?" With this thought, the hunter mustered his courage and jumped onto the lion's back, intending to skin it. The lion, seeing this action, became enraged, baring its fangs and claws. It flipped the hunter onto the ground and clawed at his belly, instantly tearing him apart. The story of the hunter and the lion carries profound lessons, reminding us of the dangers of misconceptions, underestimating others' strength, and the peril of greed and thoughtless actions. Misconceptions and underestimating others. The first and most evident lesson from this story is the danger of misconceptions and underestimating others' strength. Over time, the hunter had grown used to the lion coming to eat the meat he discarded, gradually believing that the beast had become tame and docile under his control. This was a grave mistake. Despite the familiarity and apparent friendliness, the lion remained a wild animal with strong instincts for self-defense. In life, we often encounter similar situations. We may mistakenly believe in the tameness or peace of a situation, a relationship, or a person, underestimating the hidden potential or strength. This can lead to severe consequences when we are unprepared or unable to face reality when the situation changes. The perils of greed and thoughtless actions. The second lesson from this story is the severe consequences of greed and thoughtless actions. The hunter, believing he had fully tamed the lion, was driven by greed and overconfidence to ride it and skin it, just like other hunting animals. This action not only showed his greed, but also his lack of thought, failing to assess the danger of the situation. As a result, the lion retaliated, and the hunter paid with his life. In life, greed and thoughtless actions frequently lead us into dangerous situations and unforeseen consequences. Greed can cloud our judgment, leading us to act without considering the repercussions. This is particularly true when we are overly confident in our control and disregard the hidden dangers. Thus, the important lesson from this story is to always be cautious and think carefully before acting, especially when those actions involve dangerous or high-risk factors. The story of the hunter and the lion serves as a valuable reminder that misconceptions, underestimating others, and greed and thoughtless actions can lead to serious consequences. These lessons are not only applicable in hunting or interacting with animals, but also in every aspect of human life. We need to remain vigilant, clear-headed, and capable of controlling our greed and actions to avoid falling into dangerous situations. By learning from stories like this, we can become wiser, better equipped to handle and respond to various life situations. 4. A deep lesson from the story of two blind men and the farmers. On a day like any other, two blind men walked along the road, chatting about a life they considered free and easy. But did they truly understand the world around them? The story of their conversation and the encounter with passing farmers reveals new perspectives and valuable lessons about complacency and misjudgment of reality. Let's listen to uncover the profound messages hidden in their words and actions. There were two blind men walking with canes on the road. One said, Being blind isn't so bad. People with sight are always busy working non-stop, especially farmers. They're far from enjoying the leisurely life we have. You're absolutely right. Farmers really have it rough, agreed the other blind man. Just then, a few farmers passed by and overheard them. One farmer, pretending to be an official, said, "You two, seeing an official coming, why don't you make way? Are you asking for trouble?" Another farmer then hit each of the blind men on the head with a stick, forcing them to the side of the road. The farmers then quietly walked behind them, eavesdropping on their conversation. One blind man said, "In the end, being blind is still the best. If we had sight and didn't move aside for the official, we'd be beaten and thrown in jail." The other blind man said, "Right, we only got a few hits. We're the luckiest." First and foremost, this story shows how the two blind men were complacent with their current state. They believed their life, despite its limitations, was better and more comfortable than that of sighted people who had to work hard. This complacency stemmed from their limited understanding of the world around them. They couldn't see the hardships others faced, and therefore couldn't fully comprehend the true challenges of life. Complacency and limited perception are closely related. When we only see a part of the bigger picture, it's easy to become complacent with what we have, thinking we understand everything and don't need to change or improve. However, this complacency can make us miss opportunities to learn and grow, leading to mistakes in judgment and decision-making. The story also highlights the importance of accurately assessing real situations. When the farmers pretended to be officials and beat the two blind men, they were taken by surprise and didn't understand the reality of the situation. Even after being beaten, they remained complacent, thinking they were still the luckiest. This shows how misjudgment of reality can lead to negative consequences that we fail to recognize. Misjudgment can occur when we lack information or a comprehensive view of a situation. In such cases, it's easy to draw wrong conclusions and act based on incomplete or inaccurate information. The consequences of these decisions can be severe, affecting not only ourselves but also those around us. The story of the two blind men and the farmers teaches us that to avoid complacency and misjudgment, we must always broaden our perspectives and strive to understand the world better. This requires constant self-reflection and a willingness to learn from the experiences and viewpoints of others. Moreover, we must acknowledge that our understanding and knowledge are always limited. Admitting this is the first step toward growth and development. We need to continually question and seek the truth, even if it means facing uncomfortable realities. Finally, this story reminds us that in life, we can't always see the entire picture. However, by keeping an open mind and a willingness to learn, we can minimize mistakes and act more wisely and cautiously. By recognizing our limitations and constantly seeking to expand our perspective, we can lead a more meaningful and fulfilling life, avoiding the undesirable consequences of complacency and misjudgment. 5. Don't miss the opportunity, the story of flexibility and true value of assets. In life, we often face tough decisions. Should we hold on to what we have or seize new opportunities? The story of two poor woodcutters on a mountain offers a valuable lesson about flexibility and emphasizes the importance of correctly assessing the true value of assets and effort. When an unexpected rain changes everything, who among the two will truly succeed? Let's listen to uncover the profound messages hidden in their journey. Once there were two poor woodcutters gathering firewood on a mountain. One day, they found two large bags of cotton and were thrilled to take them home. The cotton was worth much more than firewood, and selling it could provide enough money to feed their families for a month. As they descended the mountain, each carrying a bag of cotton, they were eager to get home quickly. After a while, one of them spotted a large bundle of fabric on the road. Upon closer inspection, it was a substantial bundle of coarse cloth. He was delighted and suggested to his friend that they leave the cotton and take the cloth instead. His friend disagreed, believing that abandoning the cotton after carrying it for so long would be a waste of effort. He insisted on keeping the cotton. Unable to convince his friend, the first woodcutter reluctantly decided to carry the fabric bundle on his own. As they continued, the woodcutter carrying the fabric noticed a glimmer of light in the forest. Approaching closer, he discovered a trove of gold and silver treasures. He excitedly told his friend to leave the cotton and take the treasures instead. His friend still refused, suspecting the gold was fake. He advised his friend not to waste his energy and risk ending up empty-handed. The woodcutter who found the gold decided to carry the treasure by himself. When they finally reached the foot of the mountain, a heavy rainstorm soaked them. Worse still, the cotton in the bag became waterlogged and too heavy to carry. The woodcutter with the cotton had no choice but to discard it and return home empty-handed, while his friend brought the treasure. In life, change is inevitable. Successful people are often those who can adapt well and seize new opportunities when they arise. The first woodcutter in the story exemplifies this. When he discovered the fabric bundle, he immediately recognized its greater value compared to the cotton. He decided to change, even though it meant abandoning his previous effort. His flexibility didn't stop there. Upon finding the treasure, he again was willing to adapt and take the more valuable option home. His ability to adapt and embrace change led him to better opportunities and success. In contrast, the second woodcutter, with his conservative mindset and fear of loss, stubbornly held on to the cotton until the end. He refused to change, even when better opportunities presented themselves. As a result, when the rain came, the waterlogged cotton became worthless. His inflexibility and lack of adaptability caused him to lose all his effort and assets. Another important lesson from this story is the necessity of correctly assessing the true value of assets and effort. The first woodcutter realized that the value of the fabric and treasure far surpassed that of the cotton. He understood that giving up something he had invested effort into for something better was the right decision. This demonstrated his intelligence and ability to accurately evaluate the situation. On the other hand, the second woodcutter failed to recognize the true value of new opportunities. He valued his effort more than the actual worth of the assets he held. This led to his downfall when the cotton became worthless due to the rain. It serves as a strong reminder that sometimes clinging to what we have without reassessing its true value can lead to failure and loss. The story of the two poor woodcutters is not just a simple tale about seeking wealth. It brings profound lessons about flexibility and the ability to adapt to change, as well as the importance of correctly assessing the true value of assets and effort. In life, we often face difficult decisions and must choose between holding on to what we have or seizing new opportunities. The lesson from this story is to always be ready to change and adapt when necessary, while also knowing how to accurately assess the true value of what we have to make wise and sound decisions. Only then can we achieve true success and happiness in life. If you find these stories inspiring and they motivate you to take action, please comment 9. If not, comment 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Thank you for your valuable time. 6. The lesson in humility from a horse groomer: how to change yourself to achieve success. Have you ever wondered how someone can abandon their pride and find success through humility? The tale of Yenzi and the horse groomer will take you on an intriguing journey where an ordinary man discovers the true value of humility and how it transformed his life. Let's delve into profound lessons about self-awareness and the ability to change oneself to achieve success in both life and work. You won't want to miss this story. When Yenzi was the prime minister of Qi, he once passed by the horse groomer's house. One day, the groomer's wife looked through a crack in the door and saw her husband sitting proudly on the cart, displaying an air of arrogance. When the groomer returned home, he found his wife angry and demanding to return to her parents' home. Confused, he asked, "Why do you want to go back to your parents' home?" His wife replied, "Yenzi is the prime minister, renowned throughout the country, yet I saw him sitting humbly on the horse cart. But you, just a horse groomer, are full of arrogance and don't know your place. Therefore, I don't want to live with you anymore." From that day on, the groomer changed his attitude and became humble. Yenzi noticed the change and, finding it curious, asked the reason. The groomer explained the situation to Yenzi. Later, Yenzi recommended him for the position of doctor in Qi. Firstly, humility is a necessary quality not only in personal life, but also in the workplace. Yenzi, despite his widespread fame as a prime minister, always maintained a humble attitude, recognizing his place and others. This attitude endeared him to the people and earned him their respect. Humility is not just a sign of maturity and wisdom, but also a way to maintain good relationships and avoid unnecessary conflicts. The horse groomer initially did not understand the value of humility. Despite his lowly job, he acted arrogantly and pridefully. This not only disappointed his wife, but also caused him to lose the respect of those around him. However, when his wife advised him and he witnessed Yenzi's humility, he realized his mistake and decided to change. This change not only improved his family relationships, but also brought new opportunities in his career. From a horse groomer, he became a doctor in Qi, thanks to his humility and continuous efforts. Secondly, the ability to self-reflect and change oneself is a crucial factor leading to success. Life is not always smooth and easy. We often face difficulties and challenges. In such times, the ability to self-reflect and be willing to change to adapt to new circumstances is extremely important. The horse groomer recognized his shortcomings and decided to change. He not only changed his attitude but also improved his work and his interactions with others. This change opened new opportunities and helped him achieve unexpected success. The story of Yenzi and the horse groomer is a clear example that humility and the ability to self-reflect and change oneself can yield remarkable results. These are qualities that each of us should cultivate and apply in our daily lives. Humility does not diminish our value. Rather, it makes us more appreciated by others. Self-reflection and the ability to change help us continuously improve ourselves and reach higher goals. In a constantly changing world, flexibility and adaptability are the keys to overcoming all difficulties and achieving success. Remember, every small change can make a significant difference. Most importantly, always maintain a humble attitude, recognizing your place and others, as this is the foundation for building a meaningful and sustainable life. 7. The priceless lesson from A Dirty Pot of Rice. Discovering the importance of sacrifice and verifying the truth. In a difficult journey from Lu to Qi, Confucius and his disciples faced numerous challenges. In what seemed like an ordinary situation, when Yan Hui, the student Confucius held in the highest regard, was tasked with cooking rice, an unexpected event unfolded. Yan Hui's actions left Confucius shocked and disappointed, but when the truth came to light, a valuable lesson about sacrifice and the importance of verifying facts was revealed. Let's explore this touching and philosophical story to understand the true value of loyalty and responsibility. One day, Confucius led his disciples on a journey from Lu to Qi. Among them were Yan Hui and Zilu, two of Confucius's beloved students. During the Eastern Zhou period, wars were frequent and famine and hardship were widespread. Confucius and his disciples often went hungry and thirsty, yet no one complained or gave up. They all were determined to follow their master to the end. Fortunately, on their first day in Qi, a wealthy man who had long admired Confucius brought them some rice. Confucius assigned Zilu to lead the disciples into the forest to gather vegetables, while Yan Hui was given the task of cooking the rice. Why did Confucius assign the cooking duty to Yan Hui, a student of high moral standing in whom he placed great expectations? Given the scarcity of food, assigning Yan Hui to kitchen duties was the most reasonable choice. After Zilu and the other students went to gather vegetables, Yan Hui stayed in the kitchen to cook the rice. Confucius lay reading a book in the main hall, opposite the kitchen, separated by a small courtyard. Suddenly, a noise came from the kitchen. Confucius stopped reading and glanced down, seeing Yan Hui slowly lift the lid off the pot, stir the rice with chopsticks, form small clumps with his hand, and then eat them. Yan Hui's actions did not escape Confucius's watchful eyes. Confucius sighed deeply and thought, "Oh dear, my best student is stealing food from his teacher and peers. All my hopes for him are shattered." Later, Zilu and the others returned with vegetables. Yan Hui cooked the vegetables while Confucius lay there, consumed by grief. Once the vegetables were cooked, Yan Hui and Zilu brought the meal to the main hall. The disciples respectfully invited Confucius to eat. Confucius sat up and said, "Today, on our first day in Qi, we are fortunate to have a meal. This first meal in Qi makes me nostalgic for our homeland of Lu. I remember my parents and wish to offer a bowl of rice to them. What do you all think?" All the students, except Yan Hui, clasped their hands and said, "Yes, master, we should." Confucius then asked, "But is this pot of rice clean?" The students looked at each other in confusion, not understanding what Confucius meant. Yan Hui then clasped his hands and said, "Master, the rice is not clean." Confucius asked, "Why?" Yan Hui replied, "When the rice was done, I opened the lid to check if it was cooked through. Unfortunately, a gust of wind blew in, and soot and dust from the roof fell into the pot. I quickly covered it, but it was too late. I scooped out the dirty rice and was about to throw it away, but then thought, we have so little rice and many brothers. If I throw away the dirty rice, it would mean one less portion for everyone. So I took the liberty of eating the dirty portion myself, leaving the clean rice for you and the brothers. Master, I have already eaten the rice, so now I will only eat the vegetables. And Master, since the rice has been eaten, it should not be used for the offering." After hearing Yan Hui's explanation, Confucius looked up at the sky and lamented, "Oh my! Sometimes we see things with our own eyes, yet still do not understand the truth. Oh my! I almost became a fool." First and foremost, Yan Hui's action of eating the dirty rice to preserve the clean portion for his master and peers exemplifies the spirit of sacrifice and responsibility. In a time of scarcity and hardship, Yan Hui chose to sacrifice himself to ensure that others would not suffer. This noble act demonstrates loyalty, respect, and love for his master and fellow disciples. His sacrifice is not only admirable, but also teaches us about prioritizing the community's needs over individual interests. Yan Hui not only fulfilled his duty but also showed a high moral standard. In every situation, he thought of others before himself. This reflects a quality that Confucius always hoped for in his students. Through this action, Yan Hui illustrated that sacrifice doesn't always have to be grand gestures. Sometimes, small daily actions can bring significant meaning to the community. Secondly, the story conveys a powerful message about the importance of verifying the truth and avoiding hasty judgments. When Confucius saw Yan Hui's actions from afar, he immediately felt disappointed, assuming his student was stealing food. However, he wisely chose to listen before making any reprimands. This was a wise act, showing the calmness and thorough consideration of a great teacher. When the truth was revealed, Confucius realized that what he saw was only the surface of a much more complex story. His acknowledgement of his mistake not only showed his humility, but also reminded us that sometimes what we see and hear isn't necessarily the truth. Verifying information, listening carefully, and making thoughtful evaluations before drawing conclusions are crucial. This is especially true in modern society, where misinformation and rumors can spread rapidly and cause serious consequences. Confucius's humility and willingness to learn from others is also a valuable lesson. Despite being a great master, Confucius did not hesitate to admit his mistakes and learn from them. This is a quality that everyone should emulate, as it not only helps us grow but also contributes to building a fairer and more civilized society. This story reminds us that in life, sacrifice and a sense of responsibility are always valuable and worthy of respect. At the same time, verifying the truth and avoiding hasty judgments are essential to prevent unnecessary misunderstandings. Finally, humility and willingness to admit mistakes are keys to personal growth and becoming better individuals. Through the story of Confucius and Yan Hui, we can draw profound lessons and apply them to our daily lives to live a more meaningful and valuable life. 8. Turning adversity into opportunity. An inspiring tale of perseverance and optimism. Have you ever wondered how to turn life's biggest challenges into opportunities for growth and development? There is a touching fable about an old donkey and its arduous journey that will provide you with an answer. When faced with seemingly insurmountable danger, what did the donkey do to not only survive but also overcome its harsh circumstances? Let's explore how perseverance and optimism helped it overcome adversity in this inspiring story. A fable tells of a farmer who owned an old donkey. One day, the donkey fell into a dry well and cried out in distress. After calmly assessing the situation, the farmer, out of compassion, decided to help the donkey end its suffering quickly. He called on a few neighbors to help him fill the well with dirt, intending to bury the unfortunate animal. At first, the donkey was terrified by what the people were doing to it. But as each shovelful of dirt was thrown onto its back, it shook it off and stepped up on the accumulating dirt. The donkey continued to do this step by step, encouraging itself with the mantra, "Shake it off and step up, shake it off and step up." Despite the pain and dire circumstances, the donkey fought on, following the principle of shake it off and step up. Before long, the donkey, though battered and exhausted, triumphantly stepped out of the well. What was intended to bury it actually saved its life. This was all thanks to the donkey's brave confrontation of its adversity. The fable of the old donkey and the farmer is more than just a lesson in perseverance and optimism. It carries deeper meanings. When the donkey fell into the dry well and faced the threat of being buried alive, it turned a seemingly hopeless situation into an opportunity to rise above its circumstances. From this story, we can draw important life lessons that anyone can apply to overcome their own challenges. Firstly, the message of perseverance is clearly demonstrated by the donkey's actions. When dirt was being thrown down, it didn't panic or accept its fate. Instead, it shook off the dirt and lifted itself up bit by bit. This perseverance was the key to its escape from the well. In life, we often face various difficulties and challenges. When encountering obstacles rather than giving up or accepting defeat, we should learn to persevere and find ways to overcome them. Each challenge, when viewed positively and persistently tackled, can become an opportunity for us to grow and develop. Alongside perseverance, the story also emphasizes the importance of optimism and the fighting spirit. Despite the pain and fear, the donkey didn't let negative emotions overwhelm it. Instead, it motivated itself with the mantra, "Shake it off and step up." This optimistic spirit helped the donkey maintain the drive and strength to keep fighting against the harsh conditions. In life, optimism and a positive attitude play crucial roles in overcoming difficulties. When facing tough situations, if we maintain optimism and believe in our abilities, we will have the extra motivation to overcome any obstacle. The donkey story also delivers a message about creativity in problem solving. The donkey didn't just rely on physical strength, but also used its intelligence and ingenuity to deal with the situation. By shaking off the dirt and stepping up, it found a creative way to escape the well. This shows that when facing difficult situations, we should think creatively and be flexible in our problem-solving approaches. Creativity and ingenuity can open up new paths we hadn't considered, helping us overcome challenges more effectively. Finally, this fable reminds us that every adversity contains a hidden opportunity. What seemed like it would crush and bury the donkey actually became the means to its escape from the well. Similarly, in life, the difficulties and challenges we encounter can also become opportunities for us to learn, grow, and become stronger. The key is to view problems positively, persevere, and find creative ways to overcome them.
If you like this video, please comment 1. And if you don't, comment 2. Your feedback means a lot to us. Thank you for your valuable time.
9. The power of kindness and justice. A touching tale of King Ki. Throughout history, there are stories that not only teach valuable lessons, but also evoke deep emotions about kindness and justice. Have you ever heard about King Ki and his prized horse? When the king, in his rage over the loss of his beloved horse, ordered the execution of the horsekeeper, a wise advisor used gentle words to completely change the situation. This story is not just a testament to the power of kindness, but also to the importance of fairness and rationality in judgment. Let's explore this touching story and draw valuable lessons for our lives. King Ki of the state of Qi had a prized horse, which he entrusted to a caretaker. One day, the horse suddenly died. Furious, the king blamed the caretaker for the horse's death and immediately ordered his men to execute him. At that moment, an advisor named Anzi, who was present at court, intervened and asked the king, "Your Majesty, when the ancient kings Yao and Shun executed someone, where did they start?" The king was taken aback and replied, "Release him. We'll imprison him first and then decide his punishment." And Zai continued, "This man does not yet know why he should die. Let me explain his crimes to him before you imprison him." The king agreed, and Anzi addressed the caretaker. "You have committed 3 crimes worthy of death. First, you failed to take care of the horse entrusted to you, leading to its death. Second, it was the king's prized horse, making your negligence even more grievous. Third, and most importantly, by causing the king to kill a man over a horse, you would make the people resentful and invite scorn from neighboring states. Your actions not only caused the death of a horse, but could also lead to unrest among the people and animosity from other nations. Do you understand now? You will be temporarily imprisoned." Upon hearing this, King Ki reflected deeply and said, "Let him go. Let him go. I don't want to be known as a cruel and unjust ruler." Reflection. King Ki's initial reaction to the death of his beloved horse was driven by anger, losing sight of reason and justice. And Zai's wise intervention, however, turned the situation around. By acknowledging the king's feelings while gently reminding him of the broader consequences, Zai appealed to the king's sense of compassion, leading him to reconsider his actions. This showcases the power of gentle, thoughtful words to influence even the most powerful. When King Qi's prized horse died, his immediate response was extreme and ruthless. He wanted not just to punish but to brutally execute the horsekeeper, showing his uncontrolled anger. This illustrates how people can lose their rationality and act blindly in the heat of anger. However, Anzai's intervention completely changed the course of events. He used reason to calm the king's fury and highlighted the repercussions of such a brutal act. This is a clear example of the power of kindness and wisdom in resolving conflicts. And Zai's kindness was not only sympathy for the horsekeeper, but also a concern for the king's reputation. He understood that a brutal act would not only affect the punished individual, but also damage the king's image among his subjects and neighboring states. By highlighting the serious consequences of the king's actions, Anzi made King Qi realize the importance of mercy and tolerance. This is a crucial lesson for all of us. In any situation, kindness is the key to resolving issues peacefully and effectively. Additionally, the story emphasizes the importance of fairness and rationality in judgment. And Zai did not merely stop the king, but also insisted on a fair and reasonable trial for the horsekeeper. He clearly listed the man's faults, but also pointed out the severe consequences of a brutal execution. Through this, Anzi made the king understand that his actions would not only harm one person, but the entire kingdom. This demonstrates that fairness and rationality in judgment are the foundations of a civilized and just society. In all our decisions, we need to consider carefully, ensuring that we act not only based on emotions but also on reason and fairness. Finally, this story teaches a lesson about respect for human life. Every life has value and deserves to be treated with fairness and kindness. King Qi's decision to pardon the horsekeeper was not just a humanitarian act but a reminder of the importance of mercy and respect for human life. 10. The strategic wisdom of ZHUGE LIANG, the secret of the empty city tactic. In Chinese history, the name ZHUGE LIANG is synonymous with intelligence and strategic prowess. Have you ever wondered how he managed to defend Xicheng without deploying a single soldier? The story of the empty city tactic is not only a testament to creative strategy, but also a profound lesson in psychological warfare. Let's delve into the secret behind this unexpected victory and understand why knowing your opponent is crucial. In China, ZHUGE LIANG is a name everyone knows. To say someone is like ZHUGE LIANG is to praise their strategic brilliance. Below is a story about ZHUGE LIANG. Around the 2nd century BC, China was divided into 3 main states: Wei, Shu, and Wu. This period in Chinese history is known as the Three Kingdoms era. These states frequently waged war, but none could decisively defeat the others. ZHUGE LIANG was the military advisor for Shu, renowned for his commanding prowess. Once, Wei received intelligence that Xicheng, a strategically important city in Shu, was lightly defended with only about 10,000 troops. Seizing the opportunity, Wei's general Sima Yi led an army of over 100,000 to attack. Upon hearing this, Shu's king and soldiers were extremely tense. Facing such overwhelming odds, defeat seemed certain. However, there was no time to dispatch reinforcements. The fate of Xicheng rested on the brilliant strategist ZHUGE LIANG. ZHUGE LIANG, after much contemplation, devised a daring plan. He ordered the citizens and soldiers to evacuate to a safe location, leaving the city gates open and waiting for the enemy. Soon, Sima Yi's forces surrounded Xicheng. To his astonishment, he found the gates wide open, with no soldiers in sight, only an old man sweeping the ground. As Sima Yi pondered this strange sight, he spotted Zhuge Liang himself on the city wall, calmly playing a zither. This unexpected scenario perplexed Sima Yi. He knew of Zhuge Liang's cunning, and the open gates and Zhuge Liang's serene demeanor made him suspect a trap. The music gradually shifted from soothing to intense, reminiscent of an impending storm. The more Sima Yi listened, the more uneasy he felt, fearing an ambush. Consequently, he ordered a retreat, and his army withdrew without engaging in battle. Thus, Zicheng was saved without a single soldier. This is the famous empty city tactic of Zhuge Liang. Zhuge Liang's strategic genius is highlighted in many tales, all originating from Romance of the Three Kingdoms, one of China's most famous classical novels. If you're interested, I highly recommend reading this book. Firstly, the empty city tactic clearly illustrates that intelligence and creativity can triumph over sheer military might. Faced with a daunting threat from Sima Yi's superior forces, Zhuge Liang eschewed conventional methods. Instead, he chose an innovative and risky strategy, opening the city gates, appearing confident and unguarded, and playing the zither amidst impending danger. This act not only surprised the enemy, but also sowed seeds of doubt and fear, leading them to suspect a hidden trap. Consequently, Sima Yi's forces retreated without a fight. This story demonstrates how strategic intelligence and creativity can transform a dire situation into a secure victory without resorting to force. Secondly, the story underscores the importance of psychological warfare and understanding your opponent. Zhuge Liang excelled not only in devising strategies, but also in reading the psychology of his adversaries. He knew Sima Yi, a fellow strategic mastermind, wouldn't be easily fooled by standard tactics. Zhuge Liang exploited Sima Yi's caution and suspicion, making him second-guess his judgment. By opening the city gates and exuding confidence, Zhuge Liang created a psychological ploy that made Sima Yi retreat. This illustrates that a profound understanding of your opponent and the ability to influence their psychology can lead to unexpected and significant victories. Moreover, the tale of Zhuge Liang's empty city tactic offers valuable lessons in leadership and management across various life aspects. A smart leader doesn't solely rely on power and authority, but also leverages intelligence and creativity to solve problems. Confidence, decisiveness, and a comprehensive understanding of situations are crucial for success. Zhuge Liang showed that sometimes appearing weak and vulnerable is the best way to conceal true strength and deceive opponents. Finally, this story serves as a reminder of the importance of continuous learning and self-improvement. Zhuge Liang's legacy of intelligence and strategic brilliance extends beyond military prowess to leadership and management. By constantly learning and applying innovative strategies in real-life situations, we can overcome challenges and achieve remarkable success. If you find these stories inspiring and they motivate you to take action, please comment 9. If not, comment 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Thank you for your valuable time. 11. The Fisherman and the King's Profound Lesson, a tale of responsibility and passion. During one of his thrilling hunting expeditions, King Wen of Jin had an unexpected encounter with a fisherman. With just one remark, the fisherman imparted a valuable lesson about the responsibilities of leadership and the dangers of being overly engrossed in personal pleasures. Let's explore this story and uncover the deep messages it holds, where a humble fisherman advised the king with wisdom and genuine loyalty. What made the king reflect and change his perspective on his role? The answer will be revealed through this tale. King Wen of Jin, in his zealous pursuit of a beast during a hunt, found himself lost in a vast marshland. He came across a fisherman and said, "I am the king. I have lost my way. Guide me out, and I shall reward you generously." The fisherman replied, "Your Majesty, I would like to offer you some advice." The king responded, "First, lead me out of this marsh, and then you may speak." Once the fisherman had safely guided the king out, the king said, "Now, tell me what you wanted to say." The fisherman replied, "Majestic birds thrive by the river and the sea. When they abandon these places for marshes, they risk getting trapped. Serpents and turtles dwell in deep waters. When they leave these depths for hot sands, they risk getting caught. Your Majesty, why did you venture so deeply into this marsh while hunting?" The king acknowledged, "You are right." He then turned to his attendant and ordered the fisherman's name to be recorded for future reward. The fisherman, however, humbly declined, saying, "Why record my name, Your Majesty? If you respect heaven and earth, safeguard your kingdom, love your people, and lighten taxes, I will naturally benefit from your benevolence. If you do not respect heaven and earth, do not guard your kingdom, neglect your duties, mishandle foreign relations, lose the support of your people, and let the nation fall into ruin, then even if I am rewarded, I will not be able to enjoy it." The fisherman continued to refuse the reward, adding, "Please, Your Majesty, return to your kingdom swiftly, and I shall return to my fishing." Commentary. This fisherman was a wise man advising King Wen of Jin on two critical points: not to indulge excessively in hunting and recreation, which could endanger his life, and to fulfill his kingly duties so that his people could thrive and the kingdom would remain secure. By refusing the reward and explaining his reasoning, the fisherman demonstrated profound foresight and wisdom. Indeed, when a nest is destroyed, no egg remains intact. When a country is devastated or invaded, how can a complete household hope to enjoy peace? Peace and prosperity in the kingdom are worth more than any individual reward, and a clear conscience brings more joy than any amount of fame or fortune. The fisherman not only helped the king escape a perilous situation, but also taught him an invaluable lesson about the perils of neglecting one's primary responsibilities for fleeting personal pleasures. He used the analogy of majestic birds and serpents abandoning their safe and suitable environments for temporary pleasures, leading to potential dangers, to illustrate the consequences of such actions. This served as a powerful reminder to King Wen of Jin about the hidden dangers of neglecting his duties. Through this story, we see the importance of a leader consistently upholding their responsibilities, particularly towards their nation and citizens. A king's duty extends beyond protecting the territory. He must also ensure the well-being of his people, maintain peace, and uphold stability. When a king performs these duties well, not only does the nation benefit, but he and everyone else also enjoy a prosperous and happy life. A notable aspect of this story is the fisherman's refusal to accept the reward. He did not seek fame or wealth from the king. Instead, he only wished for the king to fulfill his obligations. This refusal highlights humility and serves as a profound reminder of the true value of a prosperous nation. If a king cannot maintain his country and care for his people, then any reward becomes meaningless. This emphasizes that a society can only sustainably develop when its leaders prioritize the interests of the nation and its people above all else. The story of King Wen of Jin and the fisherman is not just a lesson for leaders, but for everyone. In modern life, we often get caught up in personal pleasures and overlook important responsibilities. This story reminds us of the importance of maintaining a sense of responsibility in all aspects of life. Furthermore, it teaches us about the value of humility and loyalty. The fisherman, uninterested in personal gain, only wished for the good of the nation and its people. He exemplifies loyalty and dedication, qualities that everyone should aspire to emulate. Lastly, the story serves as a reminder that our actions can significantly impact others and the community. Therefore, we must think carefully before acting to ensure that our actions benefit not only ourselves, but also society and those around us. 12. Serving the people. The art of true leadership. How does one become a leader respected by the people as much as their own parents, rather than just a mere employee? The story of Ti Kunyi from Hedong, who received invaluable advice from Liu Zhongyuan before taking office, carries powerful and meaningful messages. Why do Liu Zhongyuan's words still hold value today? How can an official truly serve the people, not just earn a salary but also gain their respect and affection as a parent? Let's explore the profound lessons from this story. Before Ti Kunyi, a man from Hedong, became an official, Liu Zhongyuan held a farewell banquet by the river and offered him a cup of wine, saying, "Whenever you assume a position, remember that your role is to serve the people, not to command them for your own benefit. The people pay taxes to employ officials to ensure justice, but sadly, too many officials today take the people's money without fulfilling their duties and even exploit them." Imagine hiring someone to work in your home. If they took your money but were lazy and even stole from you, you would be angry and would fire them. Nowadays, officials often act this way, but why do people not dare to protest or dismiss them? It's because they lack the power to do so. However, the principle remains the same. An official must earn their salary by truly serving the people. Tai Kunyi, you have previously served as a county official in Lingling for 2 years. You woke early, stayed up late, worked diligently, judged fairly, and collected taxes reasonably. No one, young or old, harbored any resentment against you. You truly understood and respected your responsibilities, earning your salary well. I hold no high office to influence appointments or promotions, but I offer this farewell banquet to send you off with my sincere words of advice. Reflection. Liu Zhongyuan's message aligns remarkably well with modern ideals. Today, officials are not considered parental figures to the people but are viewed as employees hired with public funds. The distance between being a parental figure and being a hired worker is vast. However, calmly speaking, beyond the extremist view, a local leader lacking character and seeing their role merely as a job, without sincerely treating public affairs as their own and viewing the people as family, will not effectively serve, nor will the people benefit. It's essential for officials to earn the people's respect as if they were their parents. In the current age, many officials forget their duties, indulging in corruption and cruelty, prompting the use of the term public servant to remind them of their true role. Therefore, officials should willingly accept being public servants while striving to be regarded by the people as parental figures and revered as guardians, thus truly serving the public and the nation. The first lesson from this story is the responsibility and ethics of an official. Liu Zhongyuan emphasized that officials are not powerful figures commanding the people, but rather servants employed by the people. Officials must work for the people's benefit with fairness, diligence, and integrity. This is a crucial reminder that power comes with great responsibility. In any management system, from ancient to modern times, leaders need to recognize that they exist to serve the community. Governments should not be profit-driven entities or systems for individual gain. They must serve the common good, protect citizens' rights, and ensure everyone has fair opportunities for development. Officials must maintain strong professional ethics, resisting the temptations of corruption and personal gain. This helps them maintain public trust and creates a fair and transparent environment where integrity and justice are upheld. The second lesson from the story is that officials should be respected by the people as parents are. Although officials today are seen as employees of the people, to truly gain their trust and respect, they must act as the people's caretakers, with love and concern like that of a parent. To achieve this, leaders need to have empathy and a deep understanding of the people's difficulties and needs. They must listen and respond to these needs sincerely and wholeheartedly. This not only improves the lives of the people, but also creates an environment where everyone feels cared for and protected. Moreover, leaders should set an example for the people, demonstrating integrity, fairness, and responsibility. When the public sees their leaders act justly and fairly, they will feel secure and trust the management system. This builds a reciprocal relationship where respect and trust are based on the leader's actions and professional ethics. The story, Sending Off an Official, offers valuable lessons on the responsibility and ethics of public service. In the modern context, the values and messages of this story remain relevant and necessary for building a fair and effective management system. Leaders must recognize their responsibility, work for the people's benefit, and uphold strong professional ethics. At the same time, they should act as the people's caretakers with love and concern like that of a parent. Only then will they truly earn the people's trust and respect, creating a fair, transparent, and sustainable environment. 13. The costly lesson of THACH, perfection and arrogance, can ruin everything. Have you ever wondered if wealth and power can guarantee a perfect life? The story of THACH, who went from being poor to incredibly rich, offers a vivid answer. In a display of wealth against the empress's brother, THACH paid a high price for missing a common clay pot, a seemingly worthless item. Curious about what happened and the valuable lessons we can learn from this tale? Let's explore to understand human imperfection and the harsh consequences of arrogance. The saying, "THACH is still missing a clay pot," means that no one in the world is entirely complete. The story of THACH. Once upon a time, there was a poor couple named THACH. They lived in a small hut near the market, surviving on charity. Life was tough. However, THACH had great business acumen and cunning strategies. For years, the couple saved every penny, gradually amassing a hidden fortune. Despite their growing wealth, they continued to pretend to be beggars. One night, while returning late from begging, THACH saw two buffaloes fighting by the river. Believing this to be a sign of an impending flood, he dug up all his hidden money and bought as much rice as he could. Indeed, that August, a devastating flood hit, submerging crops, homes, and livestock. Famine threatened everywhere, and rice prices skyrocketed. At the peak of the crisis, THACH released his stored rice, trading it for gold bars from desperate wealthy families. With this newfound capital, the couple quit begging and lent money at high interest rates. Before long, THACH became extremely wealthy, acquiring numerous farms and livestock. He employed various money-making schemes, including partnering with local pirates to profit from their loot. After 10 years, THACH was a millionaire, his wealth and treasures unmatched. With his riches, he easily gained social status by gifting the emperor gold and jewels, earning the title of Duke. He moved to the capital and built a palace, living a life of luxury comparable only to royalty. The competition of wealth. In the capital, the empress's brother, Mr. Wang, was also known for his vast wealth. One day, during a banquet attended by nobles and officials, Mr. Wang boasted about his riches, leading to a contest of wealth between him and THACH. Mr. Wang bragged, "My servants all wear silk, and I have a warehouse full of fabric to clothe them." Thach Sung replied, "My servants require the grain of an entire district to be fed." Mr. Wang countered, "My kitchen uses sugar as fuel." Thach Sung responded, "We burn crates of candles daily to heat our rooms." Unable to outdo each other, a guest suggested they display their wealth for proof, with the loser paying 10 baskets of gold to the winner. Both men agreed. The empress sent clever eunuchs to help her brother. Mr. Wang showcased his silk-covered ceilings, to which Thach Sung responded by draping all his buildings in brocade. Mr. Wang then replaced his roofs with crystal, making his estate sparkle like gems. Thach Sung countered by paving his courtyard with jade stones, impressing everyone. Next, Thach Sung asked, "Do you have coral?" Mr. Wang presented a tall coral tree and asked, "Do you have a rhinoceros horn?" Thach Sung displayed a rhinoceros horn tea set inlaid with jade. The two continued showcasing rare items, each trying to outdo the other. The missing clay pot. Thach Sung boasted of a magical stone that provided warmth in winter and coolness in summer. Stumped, Mr. Wang consulted his eunuch, who suggested asking about a clay pot. Mr. Wang then challenged, "Though you're rich, your household must lack something." Confidently, Thach Sung declared, "My house lacks nothing. If you find something I'm missing, I'll give you everything I own." They signed a new agreement. Mr. Wang then asked, "Show us your clay pot." Thach Sung was shocked. A clay pot was a simple broken item used by the poorest to cook. He hadn't thought about such humble objects in years. Despite searching his entire estate, he couldn't find even a piece of one. In the end, witnesses confirmed Mr. Wang's victory. Thach Sung lost everything, his wealth, property, even his family, to Mr. Wang. Alone and penniless, he lamented his ruined fortune and soon died, turning into a gecko, forever clicking its tongue in regret. Today, the saying, "Thach Sung is still missing a clay pot," reminds us that no one is entirely complete. Lessons learned. The story of Thach Sung is not just a traditional folk tale, but a valuable lesson about life and character. It teaches that no matter how much one achieves or how wealthy one becomes, absolute perfection is unattainable. Imperfections, flaws, and uncontrollable factors are natural parts of life. We must accept and appreciate what we have, continuously improving without letting arrogance take over. Thach Sung's rise from poverty to immense wealth and power was due to his intelligence and cunning. However, this very wealth and power made him arrogant, forgetting his humble beginnings and the valuable lessons of his past. His overconfidence and challenge to Mr. Wang blinded him to his own shortcomings. Arrogance and pride led to his downfall. The competition of wealth between Thach Sung and Mr. Wang was more than a contest of material possessions. It was a battle of pride and self-importance. Thach Sung's inability to back down or admit mistakes placed him in a no-win situation. When challenged about the clay pot, he had no way to protect his honor and assets. A small, seemingly worthless item became the deciding factor, and Thach Sung paid the ultimate price. This story reminds us that arrogance and complacency can have severe consequences. Regardless of wealth, one must remain humble, aware of one's flaws, and not become complacent with achievements. Humility and gratitude are crucial virtues that help maintain balance in life, preventing one from getting lost in the pursuit of fame and fortune. Additionally, the tale encourages us to accept and face imperfections and uncontrollable aspects of life. Absolute perfection is an illusion, and striving for it only leads to stress and exhaustion. Instead, we should cherish what we have, continually improve ourselves, and live meaningful and harmonious lives. Ultimately, The story of THACH underscores that wealth and power alone cannot guarantee happiness and fulfillment. True happiness comes from humility, gratitude, and the ability to accept imperfections. Living sincerely, loving, and sharing with others are the paths to lasting and genuine happiness. The story of THACH missing a clay pot remains a timeless lesson, reminding us of the true values of life and how to achieve them.
If you like this video, please comment 1. And if you don't, comment 2. Your feedback means a lot to us. Thank you for your valuable time.